right, Sexy Red. What you did now? This man Blackie Speaks then made a whole Dysfunction of Sexy Red. I'm trying to see what he. I know she did a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't like her. I'm trying to see what's wrong. Maybe something I missed.
National recording artist Sexy Red, whose name is Janae Wary, drawing criticism tonight over her behavior and performance after a student rally Wednesday at Chaffetz.
She got kicked out of the school.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see.
School for her dysfunctional behavior, and she bragged about how she was coming back around.
I'm coming back around. The organization involved telling First Alert 4 tonight she was never even invited.
As the cycle of toxic behavior continues, she somehow keeps on getting bigger and bigger.
Cause this is what the industry loves.
Yeah, they said, did I sell my soul? Should I just tell them the truth?
The question I have is it ever gonna stop? And who's behind the machine?
Oh, so he definitely fed up, Dan.
That's pushing her.
Is it ever gonna stop?
I don't know. I can't get out of it. I'm getting too much money.
I feel like Blackie Speaks and I forgot who else. Let me know who else be doing this stuff. They should be doing like a TV shows, work with TV shows, stuff like this. Even though this wouldn't be on TV though.
A name most people by this point recognize. She's currently one of the hottest female rappers in the industry, has amassed a whole lot of success in a relatively short time. She's in fact one of the most streamed women in hip hop right now, has received co-signs from Nicki Minaj, collaborated with Drake, and it doesn't look like things are slowing down.
Drake is another reason why her career got extremely boosted
for her anytime soon. In this video, we're not going to talk too much about the success of Sexy Red because it's pretty clear that she is in fact a success judging by the standards of the music industry. As long as you can garner attention, whether it's negative or positive, you will be rewarded monetarily, and so will anyone who's backing you up. I do, however, want to talk about the dysfunction of Sexy Red, because Sexy Red is in fact pretty dysfunctional.
Yeah, he fed up.
Janae Wary, professionally known as Sexy Red, is someone who's no stranger to backlash, as she's received a lot of criticism ever since her blow-up in early 2023. A lot of the criticism has stemmed from a wide range of things. However, the focal point of it all being the explicit content in her music and the negative influence of it. More importantly though, I want to focus on the behavior she's exuded in a few different instances. Back in November 2023, a viral story involving Sexy Red and a teacher ended up hitting the headlines. The reason for that was this video right here.
And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking.
I did see a video with a whole bunch of little kids, little girls, just over there singing Sexy Red. I forgot what song it was. I'm like, God. I'm like, we gotta do better, bro. We got to.
Can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music, and they are asking me, can we hear Pound? And I'm so scared for these little girls today because this is the most insane agenda push I have ever seen in my life.
The video in question was of a young ballet teacher who was voicing her frustration regarding the children in her class singing along.
Oh, so she was a ballet teacher, and they talking about they want to, all right, kids, twirl around in this. No, teacher, I want to listen to Pound Town. We gonna want to go to Pound Town. I would be the same way. I'd be like, what's? I would have been fed up with Sexy Red too. Cause you got my kids over here trying to go to Pound Town. They don't know what Pound Town is. They probably might think that shit Disney World.
One of her most explicit records, Pound Town, the song that catapulted her to fame.
And then this year, bro, saying you want to go to kids saying they want to go to Pound Town. It's the year of Diddy. So it like, bro, this year really been crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
A very normal reaction from a woman whose job is to be around these young girls all day, who also knows what it's like growing up as a young girl herself, and she was seeing the negative impact Sexy Red's music was having on these young girls. Sexy Red, however, didn't agree with the teacher's criticism and quickly dismissed her comments by saying, "Girl, shut the hell up and play my song." The main concern the teacher had, which she brought up, was related to her not liking the idea of children being exposed to sexually provocative content. Sexyy Red is someone
That response
who benefits from
did not help at
consuming
all.
said content because that's the main theme in her music. The dysfunctional aspect of this, of course, being her lack of willingness to acknowledge the fact that her music is inappropriate for little girls or children in general. This entire story resulted in a wave of backlash for Sexyy Red, and on the other end, support for the teacher, as a lot of people were calling out her ignorance. Now, it didn't result in much as Sexyy Red still continues to climb in the industry.
I do remember this kicked out of a school
Schools
situation.
across the St. Louis region were unexpectedly
I seen it, but I just
exposed
scrolled
to an
past it 'cause it's
uninvited
like,
performance
it's just
in a
something else.
parking lot by a rapper.
So look, so this school put me, I came up here, got you, try to talk to the kids, get them the word of the day, they gonna put me on me.
Word of the day.
Tell me I smell like weed, watch this. My job hard. Every day I'm fighting for my life.
A few weeks ago, Sexyy Red made headlines after she got kicked out of a school in her hometown of St. Louis for smelling like marijuana, something she ended up responding to after the fact. As you could hear, she wasn't too happy about not being allowed to talk to the kids in the school. Whether or not she was actually booked to be there or not, nobody really knows. But if she was, that would obviously be way worse. Because why are you smelling like marijuana when you know that you're about to speak to a bunch of little children? I wish I knew the answer to that question, but from her perspective, she didn't do anything wrong. What ended up happening in the end is Sexyy Red pulled up to the front of the school with her car and turned up with the kids despite the fact that they didn't want her on the property. Which that in itself is an issue. The kind of thing any average human being would have faced real repercussions for. I guess when you're famous, rich, and poppin', consequences don't come with the package, right? Now this is standard behavior for Sexyy Red though. In all the controversy she's been involved in, Sexyy Red has always been very dismissive of any criticism that points out her dysfunction. The most concerning thing here is that a lot of these stories involve children, and how her actions might be affecting them negatively.
I see what route he's trying to go
However, it seems
down.
like she doesn't care all that much about the negative influence she's having on them. The reason behind why that's the case, well, Sexyy Red has been getting heavily rewarded for showing up in this way. Where is the incentive for her to actually change her ways?
Before I see here, I remember this comment. It's like, I remember this comment too, bro. Like,
The 4C.
everybody's coming for a Sexyy Red.
Recently decided to make a post on her Instagram showing off her hair. In the midst of showing off her hair, she indirectly made some disparaging comments.
You know,
about
females don't play by that
4C
hair.
That's the hair type that most black people naturally have. For anyone who doesn't know, you carpet, hair, beanie, neck, hoe could never, Sexyy Red said as she was showing off her straightened hair in this video. Most of us know that straight hair is synonymous with white hair, which is the opposite of 4C hair. Sexyy Red got a lot of backlash for this, which I think was justified. She ended up responding to the backlash by saying, I F with people with carpet hair. They're cool, but if you're talking smack, I'ma call you carpet hair. Nothing against my fellow 4C hoochie.
So that's like, you can mix that in anything. Like, I mess with, big people, but I mess with big people, they cool. But if you talking shit, I'm gonna call you a big bitch. Shit like that. I'm gonna call you big person. Or in more extreme terms, like, I mess with white people, but if you talking smack, I'm gonna call you whatever you want to, whatever is in your mind.
Jeez, not the best response, especially
Or the other way around.
Then
It don't
again,
matter.
this is kind of normal for Sexyy Red, so I wouldn't say that this is surprising at all. I mean, here's a woman who literally became famous by leaning into an extremely negative stereotype of black people, more specifically black women. I will say that it is paradoxical how she literally insulted the bulk of her audience with her comments. It's almost like she knows that there's no repercussions to her words.
Oh, you should have put a leak tape first. That's been out. That was like one of the first
Speaking of
things.
dysfunction, let's talk about one of the more viral moments involving Sexyy Red, which involves the infamous tape that went viral. Back in October of last year, Sexyy Red went viral after a video surfaced on the internet. Now, the video didn't surface by itself, which is the catch here. She herself ended up posting it on her Instagram story. After a few minutes, she deleted it, but it was already too late at that point. The video spread all over the internet, and her not-so-pink coochie went viral. Right after this, she responded to the video going viral on Twitter by saying, I'm so heartbroken. Anybody that know me knows I wouldn't do no goofy stuff like that. Sexyy Red was insinuating that the tape had gotten leaked accidentally. Her explanation was, the video was saved on my phone. I was on my Instagram when I ended up throwing my phone, and that's how it got uploaded. I think anyone with a functioning brain understands that
What?
this tape leaking was of course intentional. It was just one of the pieces that was needed.
You threw your phone and Instagram.
And
hold on, Blackie. She threw her phone, and then while in the air, some magic ghost, Casper the Ghost, just posted it up in the air, and it just fell back down.
it worked. A lot of new people discovered her as a result of it, which was a part of the plan. The visual aspect, i.e. her bare coochie being all out like this, is very consistent with how she's actually being
She did the Kim
marketed.
Kardashian,
The overall theme
the
of
trick.
her music, of course, being Sex. That's what Red sells. It's literally a part of her stage name, so it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Keep in mind that her biggest song, Pound Town, has a line about what color her poom poom is. So when people have visual evidence, they can connect to that, and her poom poom ends up not being so pink. What do you think that's gonna lead to? Obviously a viral moment, and that's exactly what happened. Mission accomplished. The most disturbing part about the story is the fact that a large percentage of her audience consists of little children, specifically young black girls. Her attaching her name to this tape and leaking it like
That
this
boy Dion do
means
not
that
like
they
Sexy
most
Red.
likely
I'm
saw
glad he
it.
not
Is
watching
it
this
her
video.
responsibility to raise these little girls? Absolutely not. But as a child, most of us have looked up to some kind of public figure, whether that be a musician, actor, or whatever. Imagine your role model deliberately leaking their own private parts for the entire world to see, just to promote themselves and pretending like that's not what they did. What kind of message does that send to the young minds of the world who are watching this go down? Now, I refuse to draw a line after this tape because she was already no muy bueno before this, but it is kind of sad how an artist can get so heavily rewarded for something so vile. This is why Sexy Red is in the position she's in, by the way. Being willing to promote yourself as a public figure in ways that are degenerate is the cheat code. The more of your ethics, morals, and values you're willing to strip away for the attention is the more benefit you're gonna see. I didn't create the industry, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Before we continue talking, let's go over the archetype of a Sexy Red, because this is one of the most important aspects of why she was chosen. I did say chosen, and that's exactly what it is. For anyone who still hasn't realized this, Sexy Red was handpicked by the industry to play the position she's currently in. You need to understand that nothing,
I mean, she probably
especially as
was.
it relates to
Probably,
the
I don't
music
know.
industry, a billion-dollar industry, happens by mistake. Here we have one of the most viral artists on the internet climbing by the second. She's not the best rapper, doesn't make the best music, although she has a couple bangers, I must say. She's kind of trashy by her own standards.
The thing is, and I'm deep into hip hop. I'm deep, so I can't really say that. She probably did. She probably did. I don't get handpicked. She probably did. To the crazy coincidence of doing this, your tape getting leaked and all this stuff. Now you with Drake, and now you with SZA, now you with Everybody Love You, all this stuff. All the kids messing with you. All this, like, I mean, that don't come. That comes within time, like years, not 1 year of all this happening. 1.5
Portray
years.
herself as the most morally inclined human being. Despite all this, she continues to climb. And the question is, how is this level of rise even possible? That's a question a lot of people are asking as it relates to Sexy Red. There's a lot of angles we could look at this from, whether it's the marketing aspect of her personality. A lot of money has been dumped into promoting Sexy Red. At this point, it's definitely in the millions, which is crazy to say because she still is a fairly new artist. But one of the answers to that question, I'd argue the most important one, is this. Sexy Red is a walking caricature of a very big group of people. Black women. The word caricature derives from the Italian word.
I would even say black women. I say ghetto black women. It's a difference. It's a difference, Blackie.
Caricare, which means to load or exaggerate. The English definition is as follows: the art of making, drawing, or written spoken description of someone that usually makes them look silly by making part of their appearance or character more noticeable than it really is. Annibale Carracci, who was an influential Italian painter that is brought as propaganda by displaying them as foolish. In 1938, the Nazis organized...
I don't even know how we even got on that subject right
there.
The
black woman has since the dawn of time undoubtedly been the most disrespected woman on the planet, going all the way back to the Jezebel stereotype, which was a social construct that was created during slavery. The black woman was portrayed as a hypersexual and sexually voracious woman whose value to society was purely based on her sexuality and her body. That preconceived notion had a lot of drawbacks. The stereotype, among many things, justified a wide range of abuse against the black woman's body. Hip-hop, a black art form that was started with the sole purpose to empower young black Americans, has unfortunately been used by the music industry as a tool to further propagate that very thing black women and the good black men have been fighting against. Sexyy Red herself is that walking stereotype. The overall theme in her music is consistent with the same ideas the Jezebel stereotype promotes. While Sexyy Red's virality keeps getting more intense by the second, and the industry that propped her up continues to profit off of a false stereotype she's pushing, an entire community of people get wrongfully judged for the actions of one person.
I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. A lot of hood black girls, then the most of them, then the most of them, they love Sexyy Red. I ain't gonna lie to you. They love her.
Monolith though, so what am I actually even saying right now? The question here isn't whether or not we are the same, because black people are not all the same. If they haven't told you, we're not all the same. We're different as human beings, from different backgrounds to different personalities to different hobbies to different interests and all the other intricacies that comes with this thing called the complexity of being a human being. That is not the concern here. The concern, however, is that mainstream media has portrayed us as a monolith. I never blame individual people for falling into this trap. However, I do blame the larger system, which is compiled by individuals, for broadcasting one aspect of an entire group of people. Sexyy Red is not only directly but openly contributing to that negative view of her own kind in a way that I honestly think is disgusting. However, Red isn't openly trash and ratchet.
I ain't gonna lie, we gonna skip through some of this because he yapping at some of this. I ain't gonna lie to you. The puppeteer, man.
From the market. On top of that, there has
because I can't lie, he really could have just started at 15 minutes.
To be someone who's willing to
bet on 31 minutes.
White men. Now this is when we get to the strange side of the industry. Because here's the thing. For Sexyy Red to be on such an elevated platform, she has to have a stable foundation that's allowing her to maintain balance in the game. She can't do that herself. Let's just say that there's a slew of highly powerful people in the music industry who are heavily invested in her success. Now those people won't be named because I can't physically point them out. Even if I could, I'm actually not sure if I would, because your boy is trying to see another day. It is what it is. Don't hate the player, hate the corrupt game that controls everything. When it comes to how the music industry is set up and the powers that be, this is usually how everything operates. It's very similar to the puppeteer marionette dynamic.
Something to get to the hypnotizing of you.
As a form of hypnosis or mind control, if you will. Hearing your favorite song at the right time, at the right frequency will naturally put you in a state of trance. Not something that's inherently bad unless the content being fed into your subconscious mind is of a lower frequency, something the late XXXTentacion famously spoke about before he died.
What's the point of music? It's not always to have fun. It's not always to have fun. Sometimes it's to help people find themselves, because music is frequency programming. What frequency are you being fed? I will hope before they go pull some negative shit out this conversation, they pull this part of the conversation. At 15 years old, I was doing sound engineering. So I was playing with frequency. I was playing with equalizers. I figured out that hertz is to understand the frequency vibration, right? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind. If I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
Have you ever seen those videos of children singing along to a song that may be inappropriate for a younger audience?
This is the video. This is what I'm talking about right now.
Speaking of the devil,
I had got so mad when I seen that, bro.
What you're seeing is a
bro. Just know my daughter won't be doing that.
Form of hypnosis. The frequency.
I don't even have a daughter. I'm just
the young mind in a way that's not so overt. From the outside, the only thing we're seeing is music being played that we wake up to the truth about this. Well, for starters, Red's existence in this industry is for the sole purpose of capitalizing on a false stereotype of an entire race of people. Black Americans have been fighting against pervasive stereotypes.
This all documentary, like a presentation, ain't it?
Happened for hundreds of years. At the same time, celebrating the women who are of a lighter skin complexion. She's pushing. Now, despite everything we've talked about so far, the truth of the matter is this. Red is a product of her environment. This is a perspective that highly is in favor of her, and I'm not afraid to vocalize this aspect at all. I may not be a fan of Red, but
I ain't gonna lie, Sexyy Red don't look bad right here.
Recognize why she appeals so strongly to a lot of people. I still stand by the fact that I don't believe she's a good representation of the black woman. Personally, I hold the opinion that she's the worst representation possible. However, taking all my emotions out of it, she is a black woman, and that's something nobody can take away from her, ever. She's also a representation of a very large group of women are afraid of being overtly audacious.
Some stanky booty ass just walk past me and fart it.
But not Sexyy Red, and this is directly connected to one of the primary needs we crave as human beings, which is the need to be accepted. Fear of rejection is the biggest dream killer of all, and it can cripple you, just like how it's crippled a lot of your favorite public figures. This is something that does specifically speak to the black woman on an internal.
All right.
Overall, Sexyy Red is here to stay. She's only getting bigger by the second, and it doesn't look
Let me
like
see what the
that's
comments
gonna
gotta
stop
say.
anytime soon. Do I think she's a net negative to the genre of hip-hop? I will say yes, mostly based on how she shows up as a person.
Someone, bro,
I can
remember his
tolerate the
password.
music because music is subjective after all. The biggest issue I have with Red is the constant lack of character she's exuded. It doesn't seem like she takes her position all that seriously, and I think that's where the danger lies. Setting a positive example to the millions of children, more specifically young girls who follow you, to your best ability as a public figure is the bare minimum if you ask me. With that being said, she's clearly here to run up her bag, so make sure you rate.
Now, Sexyy Red not gonna be forever though. She's gonna have a run, and I mean, it's not gonna, cause this is not longevity music. Like Nicki Minaj, Lauryn Hill, all that's longevity music for women rap. But I don't see this. I don't see like her album's not. She's not finna ever hit 100K. And all that stuff. Nobody's finna. When she drop an album, it's not gonna be like, oh yeah, everybody listen to this Sexyy Red. No, some people, probably a lot, but it's not finna be like, you know. But we all know that though. I mean, at least I know. I'm telling y'all, and y'all gonna see eventually. But yeah.